What up, Dokkanners? We have been given a hint? I don't know. Global and JP Twitter both dropped this last night in black and white, July 11th, 2026, 1900 PST, which is, I'm assuming, 7 p.m., 2 hours after global reset. Video release. Event duration and content may change without notice. JP did the same thing, right? Same time in Japanese. The period and content are subject to change without prior notice. So, I think we're going to call this a hint. If it's not, this is just a very direct statement telling us that we will find out what the new character is going to be at this time, which means tonight we are going to be finding out what the new Carnival LR is. My guess, Cell Max, because like I've been saying, in terms of TANBATA, whether it's type, like extreme type or super type, it doesn't matter. No matter what, the TANBATA lineups have always been two figures that oppose one another. Cell Max opposes Beast Gohan. Orange Piccolo sadly does not. So I am leaning in the Cell Max camp. We're going to go ahead and dive a little further into this because some people have been taking this as a very cryptic but actually pretty cool hint in a very indirect way. So we're going to talk about that. There are basically two schools of thought that I wanted to review, and then we'll take a look at last year's banner and finalize our predictions. So starting with the first theory here, this looks very ominous. When I first saw this, my first thought was this has the vibes of a natural disaster type of announcement. Something where you can hear those, what are those horns that will like play in the, or not play, but like those horns you hear that just, they're scary because it means like you're under attack. Like those ones. It sounds like, I kind of get that sort of feeling from this. And then this also kind of gave me the vibes of like old school Kaiju Godzilla films. I like Kaiju stuff. So this, like I started thinking about Godzilla -1. That was the most recent like Kaiju movie that I saw. So I started thinking like Kaiju, Class 5 category, Kaiju Pacific Rim, you know, all that stuff, pretty cool. And turns out other people are kind of getting the same sort of feeling from this. So I wanted to point out a couple of people. These are just two examples of what I'm assuming will be more. This person, Atama Dokkan, he's actually posted a lot of Festival of Battles, like testing stuff. In fact, I think I used some of his clips when we were talking about the bitrate damage limiter that was removed. So let's see, this is translated. This is Google Translate. Could this image itself be a hint? Somehow the vibe it gives me feels like the preview for a tokusatsu show or something, but that's probably stretching it too far. Huh? Like way too much of a stretch? Well, so what, you know, God, Google Translate. Yeah. But if it's tokusatsu-like equals kaiju imagery, does that make Cell Max the likely candidate? Is it confirmed or something? That's what I was kind of thinking at first, and I didn't think much of it, but then I started to see these tweets, and I was thinking, okay, maybe there was something there. Maybe I am onto something thinking about it that way. Ultimately, like if it ends up being Cell Max, it's not like we didn't see that coming, but this hint is just kind of cool because if it is something more than just a direct statement, it actually did its job. Like when it comes to hints, Dokkan has always kind of been bad at doing the hint game. Legends has been way better, far more cryptic, makes you think longer. All it takes is one person to figure out, then everybody else is going to see it and then pretend like they figured it out. But for this one, it's like the fact that you don't know whether it's just a statement or it's actually kind of doing this like 5-dimensional, you know, workaround to just get you to think about all sorts of stuff is actually pretty genius. And you know, maybe we got to give him credit for that. I don't know. So this is the first one. This is another comment. Watching the Dragon Ball white subtitles reminds me of those old DVD commercials from back in the day that made it seem like Broly was the main character. Dragon Ball, the movies, Dragon Ball okay, I never saw this, but I mean, Broly was the main character for this, wasn't he? But there's this. Okay, that's another thing that people have been talking about. So now let's chime in here. So this is Venix's. He's been he is a big time like Dragon Ball news reporter for various games and stuff, and he talks about the stuff that drops in Japan. So let's see what he has to say here. This is all just, you know, other people's opinions. As soon as I saw the clue, I felt that I had already seen this kind of lettering somewhere in a promotional video or in Dragon Ball Super Superhero during Cell Max's activation, but I could not find it anywhere. Thanks to a post by Air Dokkan and Atama oh, hey, same person. I realized that I had actually seen this graphic style somewhere else. Black backgrounds, oversized white lettering, and minimal information are widely used in Japanese film promotion for teasers, cast reveals, release date announcements, and trailer launches across different genres. Is that what I'm thinking of for like Godzilla -1? I don't want to look into this too deeply, but like here's like old tokusatsu stuff. Godzilla. I mean, it's not exactly the same, but this is like what it evokes in terms of imagery in my head. Black backgrounds, oversized white lettering, minimal information are widely used in Japan's specific treatment of the phrase, meaning video release, nevertheless strongly recalls kaiju tokusatsu imagery through its heavy typography, stark contrast, and deliberately chaotic composition. The kanji remains correct and legible, but each character has been individually rotated, stretched, or tilted to create a more aggressive, dynamic logo-like effect rather than a conventional printed phrase. I think that's more so. Oh yeah. Okay, I was gonna say that's definitely not the case on the English version, which is fine. I mean, that the tokusatsu stuff, that's like old school Japanese stuff that like, you know, the rest of the world is not gonna really resonate with too much. Yeah, you can kind of see like a little bit of that stuff going on. Okay, so this is another like little piece of insight. Let's see. It's worth pointing out, as I mentioned before, that this style can be applied to pretty much anything related to promotion because it gives a sense of certainty and sticks with you thanks to how direct it is, as you can see here. But considering the theme of part 1, and then Goresh chimes in, the font itself is definitely linked to a Godzilla style announcement, but the actual phrase is very common and not associated with any type of announcement in particular. So he's also a kaiju guy. So I'm glad that he also sees it that way. So TLDR, the point of this, was this all just a way to set up, we interrupt this program to bring you Cell Max's Broken Free, you know, something like that. It could be. That'd be pretty cool. If it's not, and it's just a straight up announcement, hey, it's Cell Max, that's also fine. Here's another interesting theory. Shout out to Celtic Guardian. So this is a good one. The disclaimer, the event is subject to change and all that stuff. They've never mentioned this before in a teaser reveal announcement, have they? I'm pretty sure they haven't, which is why this was very odd to me. Not that we didn't already know Cell Max was coming, but what if this was the hint? They will change the reveal time and release him early, like how Cell Max was let out too early. That's actually another cool way to look at it. Again, we could be making something out of nothing, but that's the point of these hints, right? It's established precedent that we get hints sometimes before releases. So anytime something ominous or cryptic drops, we're gonna think about it no matter what. And normally Occam's razor suggests the simplest path is the most, what is it? How does it go? The straightforward solution answer is generally the best one, whatever the hell. You know what I mean? Like, it could be just obvious. There's just a stating a fact, or this could actually be a workaround to get us to think, oh, it's actually going to be Cell Max, and it would actually be pretty cool. The only thing I will say though, I don't want them releasing earlier. I would like to know when these guys are dropping so that I can prepare for it, because I've got other responsibilities. I've got other time commitments. I am not able to get to these things sometimes when it happens. As you are seeing this video, this is dropping the day after it dropped last night. Couldn't get to it. So yeah, as cool as that would be, don't do that, because that's gonna piss me the off. So don't do that. But that's still pretty cool. So I wanted to throw that out there. Little food for thought. Let me know in the comments if you guys think that there's any sort of like real hint, cryptic stuff going on here, or if this is just the most basic thing and this was all a troll to get us to think over nothing. That being said, let's go ahead and talk about the upcoming banner. It is going to be a Rising Dragon Carnival banner, just like last year. Last year's Tanabata LR dropped during the September-October time slot down here, where the GDC is set to be held. It is now reverting back to the old school schedule. From now on, this is where GDC is going to be, September, and Tanabata will forever and always be in July. So the part 2 for this one will be the Rising Dragon Carnival banner. Broly will be making his return on a double rates banner that includes other characters. So let's go ahead and take a look at this banner from last year. So here it is, the new character. Then we had KFC. She was the release from, was it earlier in the year? I think it was like the part 2 to Golden Week, if I'm not mistaken. It was part 2 to Golden Week right there. And then this was the December release preceding that. And then Golden Frieza, and then a Super EZA. Huh, when did that Super EZA drop? You might do another video looking into the banner more specifically, but let me see. Super EZA for Broly should have been at the same time for both. Super EZA, September 17th, 2025. September 17th, 2025. And that was, yeah, that was during this. So that basically means Cell Max will be on the banner, like the new one, if it is the new one, plus the old one, and maybe he gets an EZA, but we'll save that for another video. So anyway, it's looking more and more like Cell Max is coming up. Look forward to something happening later on tonight. It's going to be a video So I might go live so that we can watch it and react to it together. So make sure you guys subscribe, and we will see what the dealio is. I would personally, as much as Cellmax straight up would be cool, I would actually prefer it be this, like where we get a Wario, where we get a magenta, and then he either revives into Cellmax or he active skills into Cellmax or something, just so that it will be differently named from the other Cellmax that we already have. Because if that were to receive an easy A, he's going to be good enough to where I don't need another Cellmax. I would rather just use the one that we already have plus this one. Maybe this one can give a substantial boost to any and all Cellmax characters aside from himself, which will give you the more of a justification to use the S tier Cellmax. We'll see. I'm getting ahead of myself here, but the video will be dropping tonight, so look forward to that. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like down below. Leave in the comments your thoughts and ideas on this whole imagery thing. Are they actually trying to pull something here, or is it just a bunch of nonsense? Are you guys looking forward to the idea of a Cellmax coming up for part 2? Whether or not you know the kit, would a Cellmax character be a must summon for you specifically based on your own circumstances? Do tell, do share in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future and click the notification bell so that you let YouTube know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned and remember to Dokkan responsibly.